That's cool. All right. Cool. 31. Sure. Ooh, something weird's. That's new. How have I done this? Oh. Okay, now I can control it again. Weird. So, yeah, nobody watching, that's fine. Not expecting much anyway. I should probably... Alright, back to Twitch. Someone's actually watching. Hey there, Weasel. I am just getting started here, so I haven't taken off or even started the plane yet. Was just tweeting out that I was live. I wasn't expecting anyone to drop in that fast. So, hello. Am going to be getting going soon. Just gotta make sure I've got the flight ready in FSEconomy. Okay, yeah, cool. I've still got the plane. Excellent. Wrong button. There we go. Okay. Fuel. Battery. Fuel pump. Ignition. Avionics. And start. Introduce fuel.
TOS system test. Okay.
I'm doing pretty good. I just, honestly, I wasn't expecting my laptop to even be able to stream this. How are you this evening? I turn on my cell phone charger, very important. In the plane. Alright, actually, it looks like a pretty good start. Let's get the prop lever up. Starter off. Ignition off. Fuel boost normal, and let's turn on the second avionics computer. And get the inertial separator going. This is a grass field, so I don't want to like suck in any gravel, even though the game doesn't simulate that yet. Still good practice for when eventually it does. Oh, bit of stuttering. Really thought I had that under control. I've turned off multiplayer. I've got basically, there we go. Nice and smooth again. That's going to get annoying. Ever since the last update, there's been so much stuttering like that. Yeah, let me pop outside. This is actually like a really super cute little farm airport. It's got 3 runways. It doesn't have any parking spots in Flight Sim 2020, so I had to start at a runway, then pull the plane over here and turn it off. So I could have a cold and dark startup. But yeah, it's just an adorable little farm. I've got to take off using the really long runway because that's the only one that's long enough. Also, I don't know if the game counts this as water or not, so I don't want to try taking off on this one. This one's just way too short. So, this will be the one. Hello, Ferrising. I'm honestly just amazed that this is working. Alright, let's get this thing over to the start. So, parking brake, taxi lights. Hey, Morsty. Wow, that's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Oh gosh, the stuttering. Oh, I hope that's not going to be constant. I haven't tried streaming this before, so I don't know how well it'll work. Okay, when it's not doing that, it feels great. I haven't figured out what's actually making it do that stuttering. Ooh, I'm getting kind of like bogged down here. There we go. I don't think that's normal. I don't think planes do that every time. I love that you can actually see, like, tire tracks in the dirt at this airport. That's how detailed the satellite imagery was. This is just like a basic airport, too. This is satellite data and one poor staff member who had to, like, tag the runways. I'm probably like super overheating my engine trying to get this lined up. That'll do. Alright, parking brake. Back inside. Yeah, it's in like whatever list they have of every airport in the country. This one's actually on charts is a private runway. It's just like so in emergencies, people know where there's a place they can land. Even though this is like some farm's private runway. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and set where we're going. Please. There we go. T. Four. That's it. All right, we're going to Great Falls. I actually have to go to Great Falls International, but the load I've picked up is just to a little field near there. So let's get our altimeter set. Perfect. And we're already on 1229. Alright. That up to full. Wind, 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 wind. Beautiful crosswind. Be fine. Oh, we're stuttering again, but we're on this screen, so it's really hard to tell. There it is. Ah. No, I'm not a pilot. I am just... I drive robots. Is that cool enough? I'm a truck driver. Alright, takeoff lights. Let's get pitot heat and stall heat if I could please. There we go. And yeah, I think that will do. Let's get this thing off the ground. So set my flight director and takeoff mode. All right, let me start this flight on FSEconomy. Hopefully the stuttering won't be that bad while we're in the air. All right, takeoff power. And a notch of flaps. All right. That ought to be enough to get us going. If I release the parking brake. I'm concerned because my airspeed's... There it is. Right, that's about half the runway. Nose starting to come up. Alright, we're off the ground, but not by much. Whew. Yeah, having an economy add-on really helps, because just having a reason to go anywhere is a pretty big advantage. Okay, let's get the inertial separator in. And we really need to get some speed so I can retract the flaps. I'm just going to nose down a bit. There we go. Retracting the flaps. There we go. All right, let's pick up our course. All right, autopilot's on. Yeah, okay, so we're still climbing because we're still in takeoff mode. Yeah, I haven't tried on air. I've been working on, I've been doing FSEconomy. It's the free version, basically. They didn't have many openings right when the game came out. They got kind of bogged down. Ah, stutter. Ah, that last update, really. Game, please. Game, please. Please, game. I don't know what it's loading. There we go. Whew. It's really temporary. This is all places I've flown before, too, so it should be cached. I don't know why it's struggling quite so much. Yeah, I've heard on air is pretty polished. I haven't really tried it. But yeah, I've been flying pretty much all over the place. There's another YouTuber, WJL, who let me into his FSEconomy group, so I can rent his planes, and he's got those in some pretty good spots. So sometimes I just grab one of those and run run a flight to earn money. This isn't my plane. This is just a random caravan that somebody left in up here in Montana that I've been using all week. It was parked down at Helena. I needed one in Great Falls, so I snagged it and brought it up here. I just picked up an FBO, finally, in FSEconomy. I should probably level out here soon. 6,000 sounds good. Actually, let's push the power up a little bit. I'm renting by the hour, so it doesn't really matter to me how much fuel we burn. Yes, we are good. We're good. So it shouldn't be too far. Yeah, it's only 51.5 nautical miles ahead, so this should be only a 20-minute flight. No, it's coming down pretty quick. As our speed comes up, once that levels out, the estimated time will figure itself out. That's a very large lake. Yeah, no, the prices are kind of ridiculous. I don't know if FSEconomy is balanced well versus real-world prices, but you can make a decent chunk of money just flying pretty short hops. Ah, stutter. I'm not going to look around. I'm just going to stay focused on one spot until the stutter resolves itself. This time. There we go. You know, the prices seem pretty comparable to trucking rates, so I don't know. I've taken cheaper jobs, but it's, you know, for a lot more cargo. Wow, we're getting some really good speed out of not maximum power. 160 knots indicated, 170 true. And we're only at 2175 torque. It's not bad. We'll go ahead and turn our landing lights, our landing and taxi lights off. That is a gorgeous lake. Flight Simulator really just has done a fantastic job on the terrain up here. Like, that's just gorgeous. That kind of detail costs money in every other sim. See, I've got a, I took a look at this airport we're going to exactly once on satellite, so I don't have... Yeah, I don't know exactly what to expect out of it in Flight Simulator. I just know what it looks like on Google Maps. Oh, is my light on? Oh yeah, I think my light's still on. That one, no. Oh, I never... No, I did. Okay, I just missed the... I hit the button. That's the important part. Yeah, I had that light on. Okay. Whoops. Turn down the brightness on the main screen. There we go. I love all these little knobs work. It's snazzy. Alright, so we've got stutter. 14.5 minutes. Minus stutter time. Whew. Ugh. I've disabled other players. I've disabled AI traffic. I have turned the planes on the ground into generic aircraft and turned down the, like, everything I can think of for what's causing the stutter. And it's still hitting me. Maybe need to like increase the cache size, maybe. Maybe I'm just like flying so close to the ground it's just constantly loading in the high def imagery. It's okay, we'll remove those frames in post. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's one thing I like about FSEconomy is it doesn't penalize you for landing lights or anything like that. It's entirely just, can you get the cargo from point A to point B? Also, it's FSEconomy has a pretty neat system where it's just divvied up the entire planet into airports. So if an airport doesn't exist in the game, you can still land there in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You can just find a road to land on or something, and it'll still count for that airport if the airport like got bulldozed between when FSEconomy started and when this game came out. So you've got options. Speaking of options, there appears to be a cloud as part of the ground texture down there. Actually, it looks like it might be smoke from a fire. Like maybe something burning here. No, I think it's just clouds. There's a lot of clouds in the Montana ground texture. Yeah, there's no penalty for landing lights in FSEconomy. It does disable GPSs in certain planes, or at least the ability to use the GPS for setting your nav mode. Got a huge penalty for a 47-degree bank on an empty position. Like, that's a bit extreme for most planes. 47-degree bank is a bit much. But yeah, no, you can rattle your passengers around as much as you want in FSEconomy, and it doesn't seem to make much difference. I think there was some suggestion in the FAQ that if you don't lean the mixture properly, that it causes some maintenance cost to increase, but I think that's about it. Which I'm really curious what it considers leaning the mixture properly. There's more stutter. Yay. We are on live weather, but we're not on live time. Obviously, it's the middle of the night in Montana at the moment. Everything was perfectly under control. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. Ah. Whew. I really hope it doesn't do that to me when I'm trying to land. It's done that a couple of times while I've been up here in Montana. Also, FSEconomy does allow you to fast forward your flights if you want. I don't usually. But admittedly, the last couple of days I have been, just because I've been flying back and forth on the same leg over and over. Yeah, thankfully, the Caravan does not, the mixture is not an issue. You've got low idle, high idle, and that's it. Low idle on the ground, high idle when you're taking off, landing, and flying. Excellent. Oh, that reminds me, I still haven't taken my pills for the night. I should do that after I land. After I land. I'm gonna do at least 2 flights tonight, even though I'll be up kind of late. I'm not expecting much out of work tomorrow. I'm still working from home, so not a whole lot I can do as a truck driver. No, I do not fly for a living. I do have a tendency to end up doing for real what I do in video games, but no, thankfully, flying costs money. So I have not been able to afford to get into it in real life. I'm content with my my trucking job. It's more than enough for me. When, you know, there's no pandemics. That's cool. That's a neat little feature right there. Little trails and stuff across the top of this butte. That is neat. The detail in this is fantastic. I would invite you to fly along with me, but I've got multiplayer turned off at the moment because I thought that was what was causing the stuttering. Apparently it's not, so I might just turn that back on. 8.5 minutes from our destination. Let's actually zoom this out a little bit. I find exactly the right spot because I don't have a mouse wheel. There we go. So we're about halfway between that reservoir that we crossed over earlier and our destination. Shouldn't be... Oh, stuttering again. Gosh. Game, please. Game? Ooh, we have a full crash here? Nope, we're good. We're good. Ah. That last update, it's just killing me. So much stuttering now. Yeah, honestly, I've seen a lot of people complain that the game doesn't run very well on lower end hardware. But this is a pretty old gaming laptop, and I've got it running at 1080p. Aside from the stuttering they introduced with the last patch, it's been running fantastic. It's just the stuttering, it's just so bad. I've been trying to figure out what's causing it, and I've followed some of the troubleshooting steps that have been suggested on the Flight Simulator forums since the last patch, but it doesn't seem to be helping me much. Whatever's causing it, I still have not discovered. I'll tweak some stuff and it'll seem fine, then it'll come back, and then I'll tweak more stuff and then it'll seem fine, then it'll come back. And just got no clue. Perhaps? I assume I am online, so you should be able to find me in Flight Simulator. I just I won't see you because I've got multiplayer disabled. That is some cool terrain. That is gorgeous. I had no idea. I've never been to this part of Montana. Not east of I-15 up here. Yeah, I bet that was easy to find. Look at that canyon, just goes right into the middle of this farmer's field. Wow. Yeah, I've never been east of I-15 and north of Great Falls. I've done a landmark named Dent Bridge. Harvey Dent? Probably not. I don't know the landmarks up here very well. So yeah, we're coming up on the area I actually do know. Because I've driven all in Great Falls, and I've driven a little ways up I-15 and then west. And I've driven south on 87 from Great Falls. So once we get to Great Falls, that'll be familiar territory for me. A lot of this is flying over places I've driven in real life, so it's actually rather amusing. It's lovely weather for flying today. We are absolutely VFR, though. I am not attempting to IFR while streaming. It seems like a poor choice. About 5 minutes out. Now, and which airport is that, Weasel? My home airport is Depends on the plane. I have my I have a Diamond DV20 in FSEconomy, and I have that set for Missoula as the home airport. It's never been to Missoula, but that's what it's set. I'm working it up to the airport that I just got the FBO at, and I'm gonna keep it there. Reset that plane's home to there. Out in Michigan, nice. But then like what is it called? What's the air traffic control thing? Oh, what is... Oh. I was not aware there were Badlands on this part of 87. It goes through a pretty nice canyon southeast of Great Falls. I've picked up so much snow driving through that area on 87. Last time I was in Great Falls, my trailer arrived looking like a popsicle. It had a couple inches of ice on every surface. I was really lucky the scales were closed that day, because I probably would have been... No, I have the ATC turned off. I use it, but I've got... what's the real world ATC thing? Like the other human players. I can't remember what it's called. But that, as far as that's concerned, my home airport is Reed Hillview, down here in San Jose. Oh yeah, everything around here is glacial topography. It's pretty great. VATSIM, that's it. Yeah, VATSIM. Yeah, VATSIM. My home airport is Reed Hillview. All right, we are coming in. Let's get our lights on. Let's switch to heading mode. And let's actually turn ourselves a little bit to the right. I don't want to fly directly over the airport because I want to be able to see it. Now, for the most part, the controllers on VATSIM are actually pretty chill about helping people that haven't done it before. I did get one guy that was extremely overwhelmed. Yeah, I can't imagine Chicago's fun. But I got one controller that was really overwhelmed in... he was in Albuquerque and I was flying in around Amarillo. And he had just a ton of planes that were all trying to land in Albuquerque and Phoenix. And just me out in a caravan out in the middle of nowhere in Texas. And it was, as soon as I got below the clouds, I just canceled my IFR and landed myself, just to get out of his hair. Let's zoom this in just so we know when we're really close. That looks like a rail line, maybe. Oops, I'm not sure. It's awfully straight, but then it goes into a canyon, so maybe just like an irrigation canal. Alright, I think we're far enough off course. We can just fly parallel now. I do have the bearing needle set to the airport, so we'll see that swing around as we fly past it. Ah, game. Stutter. Come on, recover. There you go. This might be the runway? Is that the right spot? Kinda. It is kind of diagonal like that. Yeah, that's it. That's the runway right here. How's the wind look? Coming from behind me. Okay. That's doable. Alright. Disconnect the autopilot. Put our propeller to full. Bring our throttle back a little. Let's also, before I forget, let's bring the inertial separator on. Pitch up so I don't overspeed. Ooh, that bluff is going to make the landing a little interesting. Let's get our speed below 150, then we can drop a notch of flaps. There we go, one notch. Nose comes up. Fight that a bit. Alright, below 120, next notch of flaps. There we are. Now the speed's coming down. Yeah, Great Falls is pretty dull, but I kind of love it. A lot of great places to pick up cargo, though. If you're in the trucking business, it's like one of the freight capitals of Montana. I used to do a bunch of deliveries to the Sam's Club on Northwest Bypass. All right, so the runway is like kind of in line with that streak. It's a bad time for stuttering. We're still really high. Great Falls feels like a town without an interstate, even though it absolutely has I-15 going right through the western side, but nothing is on the interstate except the airport. So it's like not useful for traveling across town, only for traveling to or from the town. And even then, not by much. Like, the weather has to be seriously bad on the rest of the on US 87 for it to be worth taking I-90 all the way to I-15. All right, no more stuttering until I'm on the ground, please. That was one of my better landings with this plane. Little squirrely once we were on the ground, but overall not bad. I choose this building to be where we park. It's not listed as an airport in Google Maps, but if you just look along US 87 to the north of Great Falls, the runway is just like kind of diagonal from the southwest to the northeast, a bit to the left, or a bit to the west of US 87. Pop our parking brake. All right, that's... Our aircraft is no longer rented in FSEconomy. Actually, I should probably stop the plane. Not that we're burning fuel anymore. Low idle. Turn off avionics 2. Whoops, nope. Put that off. Here we go. Lights off. Stall heat, pitot heat off. We can turn the inertial separator off while we're parked. Retract the flaps. All right, and then fuel to cut off. Bring the propeller to feather while it slows down. Successful stop. Beacon off. Close the valves on the fuel and disconnect the avionics and battery. Oh, cool. Game didn't think I was done. I don't know what the name is in real life. It's marked as MT Montana 40, MT40 in Microsoft Flight Simulator and FSEconomy, but when I searched for that airport number on AirNav, no, not the Air Force Base, we're up north of the city. When I searched for it in FSEconomy, here's we're at this X here, if you can figure it out by the highways. But searching for MT40, Horner Field is the name. Searching for MT40 brings up some airport near Billings. Yeah, Husky Ranch, it's down near Billings, so I don't know what Husky Ranch is, but we're at Horner Field. It seems to be a disagreement between the video games and reality. All right, so we're on the ground. Let's make sure we got paid for that. Success, made about $937. All right, logs. MT40, you got anything going in Great Falls? No, everything's going to Stanford and Wisdom. All right, that's fine. Anything interesting here? Oh, there's another caravan. That was not here a couple of days ago, or I would have absolutely been using that, because it's way cheaper to rent too. But oh well, I'm already kind of committed to this one. Yeah, it is. It's a tricky one to find. All right, so we've got that rented again. Okay, we got 61 gallons of fuel, 18%. That's fine. That'll be enough. We're just going over to Great Falls International for this flight. We're flying empty. All right, let's get the plane started again. Low idle. Yeah, that was, you saw that bluff off to our left as we were coming into land. It's some dramatic landscape here, for sure. Honestly, the wind is so light, I can probably just turn around and take off right back up the opposite direction on the runway. Well, actually, if the wind is coming from my right, then I should probably just go down to the end and take off the same direction I landed. Even 4 knots, it's enough of a difference to matter. Let's bring up the propeller. Starter off, ignition off, fuel boost normal, avionics on. Good, taxi lights. All right, let's get back out to the runway. Just land, kick the passengers out, and get out. Go ahead and turn my landing lights on since we're just going to be rolling down the runway. Just on the off chance that there's like somebody else that can see me that's landing here that I don't see. Yeah, I'm not even going to reset the GPS for this. I'm just going to fly it by eyesight. I know where Great Falls International is from here. I just zoomed in the wrong direction there. There we are. Actually, if you look here, see all these... Nope. One more level out, please. Come on. Game. There we go. See, all these waypoints are actually GPS. GPS approach waypoints for Great Falls International. Is that a car? That's 2 cars, nose to nose. You know, honestly, I've seen vehicles exactly like that in this part of Montana. It's like one pickup truck towing another, using like a piece of rebar to connect the 2 trucks. Yeah, I definitely don't want to take off towards that butte if I can help it. Not that the train in that direction is much better. But we are empty this time, so it should be relatively easy takeoff. Hop inside. Alright, we've got our brakes set. Lights are good. I think I did that whole trip with my transponder turned off. Nope, it's on. Cool. Good. Good, I forgot to turn on the inertial separator that whole time. Let's just do that now. And then let's get that to max. That to 1 notch. Reset our trim for takeoff. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Alt-Tab, start the flight in FSEconomy. Alright, now I'm actually going to need the air traffic control for this. I've been flying into Great Falls so much, I'm pretty sure I have the tower frequency memorized. Alright, we'll be able to switch to that once we're in the air. Okay. Take off power. Started the flight. Yep. Here we go. Release the brakes. Oh yeah, no, I would actually be able to drive there. I've got enough of the city memorized. Oh, that's too early for the nose to come up. I've got enough of the road network memorized. I could successfully navigate there just by driving. Let's get above that butte. Actually, we can kind of like aim for that gap. Actually, you can see the approach lights for the international airport here. There's some, and then there's the main runway. I think that might be the river, actually. And I think that's the PAPI for the airport. Heck, honestly, we might not even have to. Goodness, this plane really wants to climb. Nope, stuttering again. Yeah, no, this plane's wingspan is 53 feet wide, so I could maybe navigate there. I think I probably know which roads to take. That I could maybe drive the plane there without hitting anything, but it would be tricky. it'd be pretty tricky, especially the off ramp from I-15. Also, the good bypass road for 87 is only 2 lanes, so if there's no oncoming traffic, it might be doable. It's not the widest of roads. All right, let's swap frequencies. Did that go? Nope. All right, so ding and then ding. All right, now it went. Airports. Great Falls International. And landing.
Great Falls Tower Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo, is 6 miles northeast with Echo to land. Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo, Great Falls Tower. Fly straight in runway 21.
Sweet.
Altimeter tree, 0.07 wind 277 at 7.
Alright, already got my...
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo cleared to land runway 21.
Cool.
Wind 277 at 7.
Got a landing clearance and everything already.
Cleared to land runway 21 Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo.
.277 at 7. Yeah, no, that's literally the runway right in front of me. That's usually the one... That's the one I've been landing on the entire week. It's always been 21. Which is amusing to me, because 21 is the one that does not have ILS. It has only GPS approaches. The ILS is for the reciprocal runway, which is number 3, I think. Let's... Another notch of flaps. We're coming in kind of steep here. But honestly, steep is not a problem with this plane. Especially on a runway this long. Yeah, just going to turn the throttle completely off at this point. It has, like, in the game at least, I can pick up the localizer for runway 3 and use that to line up with 21, but there's no published localizer only approach for the reverse runway. Oop. This is a bad time for stuttering. This is a bad time for stuttering. Game, please. You gotta send a visual approach with 500-foot ceilings?
Alpha Sierra, Echo exit runway would enable.
In the game, I hope, not in real life. Alright, let's bring the condition lever back to low idle. Turn our landing lights off.
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo, contact
our
ground on
flaps.
121.7.
I won't be doing that, but okay.
Going to 121.7 Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo.
Alright, that can go away now. Parking brake to complete the flight in FSEconomy. Alright, and now get over to my parking spot. Yeah, no, I feel like the stuttering... It was a nice, smooth landing. Just the stuttering caused my nose to pop up there because I was not paying attention and kind of let the... kind of released my forward pressure on the yoke. I'm so worried about the stuttering, I wasn't thinking about, I need to force this plane to stay on the ground. Yeah, these caravans will straight up wheelie down the runway if you let them, even at pretty low speed. I do have a specific parking spot in mind. So if you see that building straight ahead, that is a repair shop. I'll fly you over there in the drone in a moment. No, I don't park in the National Guard area. I park right here. This building in real life is actually a really nice FBO. And they've got parking for little regional commuters right here, like little caravans basically. Another small planes this size. Park right here. All right, let's get our taxi lights off. Just gonna go ahead and shut down the whole plane again. Because half the fun of this game for me is turning the plane on and turning it off again. Cut off. Now, since this is an international airport, the game knows I'm on airport property, and it's probably going to think that I've completed when I flick this switch. Yep. Continue. Alright, that might cause us issues later, because there's been some bugs I've had that stem from that screen coming up. Like you can see it stuttering at the moment again. And what are you supposed to do if the Savage Cub is on fire? I am curious. There's not a lot of space in that plane. Oh, we got the propeller almost perfectly straight up and down. All right, drone. Outside. Ooh. We appear to have left our drone at the farm. Is it going to have to fly all the way back to me if I hit reset? Yep. Oh, gosh. Huh. That was new. Open all the windows. That doesn't honestly seem like a good idea. It just adds oxygen, right? Oh, and the buildings are back. Alright, so one of the last couple times I was in Great Falls, I had... Oh, there's the fuel pump. There's the... Alright, that's really amusing. So, the in-game fueling spot is right here. So, one of the last times I was in Great Falls, I was... just fly the drone up a little bit. So... Yeah, this is... Montana Highway 3, I think. It also connects to 87. 87 comes into town on this side. And then, so when I was coming up with the Sam's Club load, I'd come through town on 87, then turn right here onto 6th Street, head up 6th Street to the Sam's Club, which is one of these shopping centers. Actually, this might be the Sam's Club here. Nexus Wind smothers the fire. That's... Not sure that's how fires work, but I'll go with it for now. So I would do my delivery at the Sam's Club, and then one of the last times I was in Great Falls, the empty trailer that I got from the Sam's Club, when I pulled it out of the dock, the door fell off. Just whoever had parked the trailer had slammed it into the loading dock so hard that they'd broken the hinges on all but one of the hinges on the door. So as soon as I pulled it out, all the weight went on the last hinge and it snapped and fell off. So the repair guy came out to the Sam's Club, helped me lift the trailer door into the trailer, and then I followed him back to his shop, and the repair shop is this building right here on the airport. So I had to bring my 72-foot tractor trailer up this road, turn it around right here, and back it into one of the repair bays in this building. Siphons the fire parts before it can use the oxygen or whatever is burning. Makes sense. So yeah, I've had a truck parked right here before. And these kind folks reattached my trailer door, and I was able to just go on my merry way. There's lots of fences here in real life, so you can't get from this side of this building into the airport without going through a fence. Yeah, fleet truck and RV, yep. There's a really beat down RV parked right about here. In real life, which I actually presumably not there anymore, but there was at the time. They were getting some kind of solar power upgrade, which is pretty darn cool. Oh, stutter, 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 stutter. Game, please. Game, please. What is it? What could it possibly be loading right now? I'm sitting still. The plane is off. No idea. Maybe just like the weather updating? Lots of birds, yeah. I love that there's just a random plane parked here. I wonder if that was the weather getting reloaded. Alright, gonna load up our last job here today, which is going to be, all right, I'm in Great Falls, so let's just go logs, Great Falls. Okay, so I have a cargo, there it is, building materials. This is mine. I own that cargo, so I can just add it to my flight. We've got over $1,000 in the bank, so that's good. There's our caravan, so let's rent the caravan again. And then go to flight. We need to refuel the caravan. We're going to bring this to... we're going to be nice to the person who owns the plane. We're going to fill it from the cheaper of the two... places you can buy fuel here. Alright, so we've got 1,350 kilograms of materials. And yeah, that should be good. FSEconomy, let's start the flight. Boom, okay. We are loaded. Back to the planes. Let's tag that back inside. Get this restarted. This isn't the most optimal way to do it. I could have min-maxed this a little bit better by waiting to start the rental until I was on the runway and about to take off. Alright, so let's get... Did I close the fuel valves? I did. Good job, me. Following the checklist. Fuel pump on. Ignition on. Starter. Oh, stutter.
TOS system test. Okay.
I don't feel like it should be checking for weather updates quite that frequently. But maybe. You know, we could find out. Let's just switch to a weather preset and see if that makes high-level clouds. January 21st. Let's bring in some snow. Cool. Maybe? I don't know. Oh, that's degrees Celsius. We're not at sea level, so let's just set it for 5. Probably fine. Today, altitude calculation above ground level, yeah. And cool. Let's see if that doesn't solve the more snow. 3.5. Nope. Oh, there we go. Yeah, sure, that'll work. 10 centimeters of snow. Treat the plane like an actual airline employee. Only costs money if it's in the air. Alright, so we've got that. Let's get our propeller up to max. Already got the... Yeah, already got the inertial separator active. So the reason that I don't trust this is the inertial separator should cause a drop in torque. But when you hit the button in the game, nothing happens. Like, that should have caused the torque to bounce back. And then that should have caused it to drop again. But if I hit the button for it on my switchboard, yeah, there goes the torque coming back. And I hit it again, and there it goes away. So I usually do both. I pull the lever and then hit the button on my switch panel for the inertial separator, since the in-game cockpit doesn't seem to respect both. All right, starter off, ignition off, computer 2 on, and let's go ahead and just turn these on, and our taxi lights. Nope, I think we're stuttering again. Yeah, we're stuttering. Ah. Okay. Fascinating. Alright, I think we do actually have to request taxi clearance here, so let's... 1217. Nope. Click, click. There we go. 777. There we go. Switch that over. Let's see if I can control... No, okay. I need to depart west.
Great Falls Ground, Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra
All right,
Echo.
we're going to do
Echo
this
request taxi
old-fashioned
to the active
way
departure
with
to the west.
radio beacons instead of the GPS.
Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo taxi to and hold short of runway 21 via taxiway Alpha.
All right, let's see.
Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
1132, and we're going to want radial 273. Gonna fly this the fancy way. 273. All right. ADF. I need this to...
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo, acknowledge last transmission.
Sorry. Acknowledge my taxi clearance.
Taxiing hold short runway 21 using taxiway Alpha Cessna, Alpha Sierra Echo.
515. Enter. And then I want bearing 2 to be my ADF, and then bearing 1 can just go away. Perfect. Oh, actually, bearing 1 can be nav 1, so I get a DME on that once I'm in the air. Okay, so we've got our nav set. Yeah, we're ready to taxi. Use the brakes. Oh. That's an awful lot of particularly square-shaped snow. Yeah, no, the stutter's still here for sure. Doesn't seem to be lasting. Oh. Why did I say that? Oh, it doesn't seem to be lasting as long. I am cleared for runway 21, right? Yeah. 21, correct. There's no 21 right here. Just 21. Curious to see how much, whether it simulates like sliding. Doesn't feel like it. My brakes seem to work pretty well on the pavement here at least. I presume the game is like, oh yeah, of course they plow the road, the taxiways. It's very, very interesting where where the game chooses to place snow. Okay. Transponder, good. Alright, so let's go ahead and transfer to the tower frequency, and then I'm going to need 1286 for my flight following. We're going to use a little bit of ATC on this flight. 128. 6, so I'll be able to switch to that seamlessly. And I don't need this up anymore. Okay. Run through everything. Good, 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 good. High idle, and let's bring one notch of flaps for the takeoff. Okay. And let's get our takeoff clearance.
Great Falls Tower Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo at runway 21 ready for takeoff departure to the west. Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo cleared for takeoff runway 21 departure to the west approved.
Excellent.
Cleared for takeoff runway 21 Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo.
I have keyboard shortcuts set for, or not keyboard shortcuts, button shortcuts set for responding to the air traffic controller, and the same button is always request takeoff clearance at this airport. It's always option 3. Game, please. Let me apply takeoff power, please. There we go. Oh, there's snow on the runway. All right, 70, rotate. We're a little heavy here, so it's a little sluggish to want to lift off. There we go. Got in the air about 76 knots. Concrete patch is part of the runway. It's not normally that color. Hey there, Wallop. All right, and then let's retract our flaps. There we go. Disable the inertial separator. Why isn't the tower talking to me?
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo, continue for west departure. I will contact you next when you leave my
There they
airspace.
are.
Great Falls Tower Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo continue for west departure.
All right, got it pretty nicely trimmed out. Oh, nope, there goes our nose popping up. Nope. For some reason, it started my flight level change speed at 0. We do not want to activate it with that. Because that would not be good for flying. There we go. 110. Roughly this heading, autopilots. Yep, heading, flight level change, good. Oh, I forgot to change the altitude. I want 14,500. I don't normally land here all the time. I've just been landing there all the time this week.
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change. Oh, my torque was a little bit high there.
Great Falls Tower, Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra, Echo frequency change.
Alright, switch over to Great Falls departure, or approach.
Great Falls approach, Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo, is type Cessna Caravan 4 miles north of Mike Tango 75.
We're heading to a little
Request,
airport
flight
near
following.
Glacier Park International.
Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo Great Falls approach. Squad 3466.
3466.
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo radar contact 4 miles northwest of Mike Tango 755,900 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Got it.
Copy Cessna, Alpha, Sierra Echo.
Turn on my cell phone charger. Alright, so yeah, we're headed to an airport. The code is 97MT, 97 Mike Tango. It is a little airstrip called Cabin Creek Landing. And that is the airport where I've got an FBO and FSEconomy. I'm bringing the last bit of building supplies I need to that airport so I can construct the passenger facilities and actually generate jobs in and out of the airport that I have in FSEconomy. Whoops, sorry, bumped the mic. I am very excited. Let's actually start getting people to pass through the airport that I've got. Though, so the 97 Mike Tango is not actually in FSEconomy. It's 0 Mike Tango 6 is the nearest airport, but that one was up for grabs, so I just got the I got the FBO there, and then you can land at Cabin Creek, and it counts still, and it's a much nicer facility. So ideally, that's what most people are going to do when they visit. All right, I need to prep for the switch to Salt Lake Center that will happen in a bit. There we go. Right, I don't see any potential icing conditions up ahead, so I think I should be good to just keep climbing, and I'll fast forward it once we get up to cruising altitude, just so we're not stuck here for the whole hour it would take to do this flight in real time. Because we'll be crossing the Northern Rockies here in the Continental Divide. You can see the ridge kind of just like on the horizon. And that's Glacier National Park way up ahead of us. So yeah, we'll be crossing that. It'll get a little bit bumpy once we get there, but usually the autopilot can handle it. We will see. And altimeter's 29902 as usual with default weather settings. Making sure everything is still set properly. Oh, I did forget something. Let's bring that back to 1800 RPM. Yep. Perfect. All right, that will get us a little bit less noise. Slightly more efficient flying. Actually, I really don't think it's that big of a difference on how much fuel you burn. I think it's just a little bit less noise is all that is good for. So we're 8,600. We're still climbing 700 feet per minute, so should arrive at our altitude in 10-ish minutes. And then we'll fast forward, and I will explain the approach I'm going to be using. Because I've been doing this flight so many times, I've actually got like a pseudo instrument approach that I use. Because this is a little tiny runway, like a little private bed and breakfast owned airstrip. And there's usually, on live weather at least, there's usually some amount of clouds over Glacier Park and sometimes over Flathead Lake. So you got to find a good spot to descend, and then you got to get to the right spot to start the descent. And the approach to the airport, the easiest one I've found, involves zeroing in on a specific navigation beacon, an NDB, that is one of the approach fixes for Glacier Park International. And it happens to be right at the mouth of the valley that this airport is at the other end of. So zero in on that NDB and follow the highway down to the airport. Then it also just happens to be just the right distance from the airport that you can make a nice gentle descent as you follow the highway and be lined up pretty well for the runway. But first, we have to get to our cruise altitude. Oh, I can turn off my landing lights now. No ice. No ice. Did I leave my drone behind? No, I didn't. I'm glad the drone came with us this time. I don't know why we left it at the other airport last time. That was kind of strange. So maybe because of... I thought maybe since I had switched to the showcase camera that was why it had left, but it doesn't seem to. Yeah, the drone's still staying with us now. No idea. It's absolutely gorgeous out here with the snow on the ground.
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo contact Salt Lake Center on 133.4.
1334.
133.4 for Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo.
We've got our navigation beacon, so switching over to track that radial. And then we're going to go ahead and switch our frequency and contact Salt Lake Center.
Salt Lake Center, Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra, Echo 10,800 feet.
Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo Salt
Also
Lake
going to turn
Center,
off
continue as
half
planned.
bank. Could turn on
Altimeter
half bank.
29.902.
2992. Cool. No difference. And that's the almost the last time we'll talk to air traffic control on this flight. Because the weather's not going to change before we get to Glacier Park. And, I guess we'll want the ATIS at some point. So let's... Nope, not that one. Is not the one I wanted. Though we should go ahead and switch this to 1229, just because that's what we'll need it on. I've been doing this flight a lot. I've got so many of these frequencies just memorized. at this point. There we go. And then 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 2, 9. Okay, so that's the next one we'll need for that. And we'll just set guard for that, and then the ATIS we're going to need in Glacier Park is 132 625. There you go. So now once we get closer, we can swap that into the standby frequency, and then we'll hear it if we're close enough without leaving the frequency that our air traffic controller is on. Nifty. All right, we're getting close to 14.5. I like flying 14.5 just because it's more fuel efficient in this plane. You get a faster ground speed when you're up that high. Not that we have to worry much about fuel on this trip. We're again renting by the hour, and I've got more than enough fuel on board to get us there. Look for the city of Marion, and then follow US Highway 2 kind of south out of the city, and you'll see the runway next to the highway. And I think the bed and breakfast is just on Google Maps as Cabin Creek Landing. If you want to search that, see the place we're going. The city of Marion is just kind of to the west of Kalispell. We are fairly heavy, so our climb rate is decreasing with altitude. The plane's just kind of struggling to get up there. Most of the rest of these flights I cheated a little bit and just brought the plane's weight down to just standard for Microsoft Flight Simulator, because FSEconomy doesn't actually care if you yeah, FSEconomy doesn't actually care if you fly with the right cargo weight. It only cares about how much fuel you burn. So yeah, I kind of cheated and removed the cargo on quite a few of these trips just to make the climb a little bit faster. Yeah, it's not far from the city at all. There you go. It's such a cute little airport. I think we're stuttering again. Yep. Game, please. Game, please. I want to get to 14,000. It's trying so hard. There we go. I'm half tempted to just throw live weather back on since the, yeah, it's a pretty nice B&B. I've not been there, but the reviews all seem very favorable. But the important thing is, nobody in FSEconomy had claimed the airport nearby. So I was able to build an FBO. Oh, there we go. 1,000 feet from our altitude. It is very fancy and surprisingly not super expensive. Assuming I ever get the opportunity to move back to Missoula, I will for sure actually visit that place at some point. I do miss Missoula. Though I'm a little bit hesitant to spend much time up around Kalispell. Kalispell's not as bad, but like some of the cities north of Kalispell have kind of a low-key Nazi problem. So like you gotta kind of mind yourself if you try to spend much time up there as an LGBTQ person. It's Some surprisingly hostile individuals up in that neck of the woods. The Kalispell's not usually too bad. Hopefully Marion also not that bad. And there doesn't seem to be any indication on the reviews for the bed and breakfast. So hopefully run by decent people. I'd like to think, most likely. Okay, we're gonna level out here at 14.5. You can see we're almost to the mountains at this point. Okay, that's the climb done. Let's get the fast forwarding going. Alright, so we're going to click 1, 2, 3, 4 levels of fast forward is the most I'm willing to do in this plane. As you can see, it gets a little bumpy and the game starts like overcorrecting. Warp speed. So FSEconomy does not mind fast forwarding. It has limits on how much you can fast forward, but the important thing is that your fuel burn is correct and you don't mess with the time while you have an airplane rented. You want to mess with the time while you're on the ground and you don't have a plane rented, go right ahead. But don't change the time while you have a plane. No rewinding time to make a flight take less time. That's a big no-no. Alright, there's the reservoir below us. And we're going to start bringing our speed back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, should be back to real time. Yeah, we're back on real time. There's no visual indication on the screen other than the clock. You have to like look at that and make sure seconds are passing in the right amount of time. So yeah, the fast forwarding is a little awkward. That's Flathead Lake out to our left. If you're following along on Google Maps, US Highway 93 comes up the far side of the lake into the city of Kalispell, Montana. And then you've got Whitefish and Glacier Park International at the north side of this valley, and then US Highway 2 goes into Glacier National Park up in this area. I did a load of firefighting supplies up to a KOA up here once, which is somewhere on my YouTube channel. Okay, let's bring our altitude down. So our minimum safe altitude here is going to be 7,800. So we're going to set that. Switch to vertical speed mode. And we want about 1,000 feet per minute. And we'll switch to heading mode. And we want to aim at the NDB. So yeah, now we're close enough to the NDB. We've got this bearing needle that shows us what direction the NDB is in, which is a non-directional beacon. We need to pull the power back so we don't overspeed the aircraft. As we descend, our maximum allowable speed will increase as the atmosphere gets thicker, but the game is not super happy if you go over 160 knots indicated at this altitude. Let's go ahead and turn our landing lights back on. So the NDB is nestled in a valley just up here. And then the approach, it's right smack dab in the center of the approach for Glacier Park International, which is right here, I think. So we should be able to see Glacier Park from here. Kalispell. Oh yeah, there's one of the runways. So yeah, this is Glacier Park International right here, and the crosswind runway for the GA planes. But yeah, the main runway for the big airliners is this long one that goes from southwest to northeast. So if you follow the line, there's an NDB in this valley that helps airplanes line up with the approach. If they've got the NDB tuned, they know when they fly over it because the bearing needle spins around, so they know they need to start descending. So I don't know if the localizer has a DME on it here. This airport has been in operation since long before precision ILS was a thing, so there's still some older style navigational implements in use here. All right, so let's also listen to the ATIS for Glacier Park.
Kilo Golf Papa India Airport Information India 2200 Zulu. Flight 255 at 10.
255
Visibility
at 10.
9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 0. Dew point 1 tree. Altimeter 29.902. Visual runway 20 in use.
Okay.
Landing and departing runway 20. VFR aircraft.
You got the important information off that. So the wind is out of the southwest, so we'll probably be landing on runway 20 at Cabin Creek. Conveniently, the runways are along the same heading at Glacier Park and at the little airport that we're going to. So whichever one's the active at Glacier Park is probably the one you should land on at Cabin Creek. So you can kind of cheat with the weather from GPI. Okay, so the NDB is for Smith Lake. So there's a lake kind of right in here. It'll be a little bit hard to see because of the because it's probably frozen in the game right now. But yeah, there'll be a lake right in here. You can see little Bitterroot Lake out here in the distance. That's a tongue twister. I'm not sure I've ever said that out loud before. Oh, there's Smith Lake coming into view here. Yeah, Little Bitterroot Lake is right in Marion's right here. So our runway is right behind this mountain. So we're gonna come in, the NDB for Smith Lake is right around here. We'll fly over the NDB and then we'll descend and follow the highway, snaking through this valley to line up with our runway. It's a very fun approach that I rather enjoy flying. Let's cancel our flight following.
Salt Lake Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo, cancel flight following.
Cessna Alpha Sierra Echo Salt Lake Center cancellation received. Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
Game, please. Game, please. Stutter. Whew. There seems to be some increase in stuttering when I zoom in on the PFD. So I wonder if that might not be the source of that to a degree. I will continue to investigate and see if we can't smooth the gameplay out a little. I feel like there's a little bit less flying on this weather preset instead of live weather, but I don't know. We'll see how much stuttering we get as we fly the approach. All right, let's get the airport. So we're gonna switch the frequency. 1229, got it, and then nearest airport list. Cabin Creek, Cabin Creek, Cabin Creek. I'm just going to wait for Cabin Creek to pop into this list instead of trying to find it in the next one. It's honestly a little bit annoying that the this list changes its order constantly as you're flying, and there's enough. Smith Lake's hard to find. Yeah, it is not a lake you would ever want to swim in. It is just completely covered in algae. It's a wildlife refuge. It's like a waterfowl breeding area. So I think there's a lot of like you can do duck hunting around that area, which is kind of cool. Alright, Cabin Creek should pop onto this list shortly. Or I can just force it by going here. There's Cabin Creek 3. Should be runway 2 and 20. Yep. Full stop. Position.
907
Yep,
Mike
got it.
Tango, traffic Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo 12 miles east 7,800 feet, inbound to land runway 20.
Alright, we're at 7,800. That's minimum safe altitude for this area. As you can see, we've got some peaks that are kind of close to this altitude. But once we're west of Smith Lake, the minimum safe altitude drops to like 7,100, I think. But we're going to be descending to a runway that's at 4,000 feet, so we're going to be going well below the MSA. But 7,800 is good altitude to arrive at this NDB. So as soon as the game stops stuttering here, base is 6, final is 2. Once the stuttering stops, there we go. Turn off the autopilot. Bring our propeller up and open our inertial separator. And we'll start our descent. We'll go ahead and drop a notch of flaps because we're already going slow enough that we can do that. And it doesn't hurt to take the approach nice and slow. So yeah, if you're coming in for the opposite runway, you kind of want to go around this side of the mountain and then cross over to Highway 2 and then come in from the opposite direction for Runway 2. But I have yet to have a wind situation where I would want to land on Runway 2, so I always just follow US 2 and land on Highway 20, or land on Runway 20, which is around this side of the mountain. And the other airport, 0MT6, is down here, which is the one that I technically have an FBO at, as far as FSEconomy is concerned, because 9-7 Mike Tango does not exist in FSEconomy. But they're close enough together you can land at either one, and it counts. You can also, if you feel so inclined, land a seaplane at Little Bitterroot Lake, and it counts as the same airport. So you can get in here with float planes, which is pretty sweet. Such a gorgeous approach, too. Especially with all the snow. I am flying this by hand at this point. We're not on autopilot anymore, which you can tell by the flashing red light on my dashboard. Last update messed that up a little bit. So now that does not stop flashing unless you're in one of the planes that has a functioning autopilot disconnect button on the yoke, which this plane does not. I don't think. No. Stutter. Stutter is not yet recovered. There we go. I really hope it doesn't do that while I'm on final. Call our position.
907 Mike Tango traffic Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo 5 miles east 6,100 feet inbound to land runway 20.
So we're about 2,000 feet above the runway right now. What should be coming into view over here. There it is. Perfect. All right, we're going to call base.
907 Mike Tango traffic Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo is on base runway 20.
We're going to drop another notch of flaps. Wrestle the nose down. As the plane stabilizes, we're going to turn to final. And we're going to call final. So just fair warning, this might be a go around.
907 Mike Tango traffic Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo is on final runway 20 to land.
I have completely botched this landing more than once. To the point where I had to just go around and try again. But we've got the fuel to do it if we need to. There's a lot of trees on the approach end of this runway, so it's a little bit tricky. Try to fly this approach from this view as much as I can, and then switch to the slightly higher view as I get closer. Because if I can just keep that runway just like that, right about an inch above the glare shield, then I'm on a pretty good approach. Let's bring our throttle back. Coming in a little fast. Go ahead and cut the throttle at this point just because we've got so much speed.
$500.
It would be nice if they plowed this runway. 500 right as we cross the road. That's pretty much exactly where I want to be on this approach. Mind the trees, mind the trees. Reverser. We just blew past the turnoff. That's fine. Luckily, there is a U-turn spot at the end of the runway. That was way faster of a landing than I probably should have done here. But hey, we got here. Also, that was a bit of a hard plop onto the runway. That's fine. Alright, let's bring our taxi power to low idle. Keep that. We'll go ahead and transponder, standby, back. Actually, honestly, it felt like we were not braking as well as usual, so the game might have some amount of slick runway simulation to it. I'm not really sure. I haven't tried to land on a snowy runway before. I certainly don't usually end up all the way at the end of the runway before I am able to stop. Oh, look, there's a 152 parked here. That's adorable. Announce clear.
9 or 7 Mike Tango traffic Cessna Papa Tango, Alpha Sierra Echo, is clear of the runway.
Yeah, this looks fantastic. Like, I really cannot get over just how good this game looks in most circumstances. Our wing should clear that. Yeah, it's fine. Those trucking skills. I think that will do for a parking spot. Flight is logged. Excellent. All right, let's turn off our taxi lights. Pitot heat and stall heat can come off. We can turn off the fuel pump. And the second avionics computer, we can retract the flaps and cut the engine. Close the fuel valves. Turn off the main avionics and the battery. Ooh, nice and quiet. All right, let's pop outside and do a quick tour of the airport. So yeah, this is absolutely, I just love this. I can't believe no one had put an FBO here in FSEconomy yet. So pretty. And this is one of the default airports. No one's retouched this scenery. Got a nice windsock right here next to the runway. This runway is lit, so you can find it at night if you need to. Not a terribly smart thing to do to try landing here at night, but you can follow the highway lights and use a pretty similar approach to what we did to actually find this place in the dark. Though, would not recommend it with a caravan. You really want to be able to see those trees on approach. If you're flying in with anything bigger than a little tiny Cessna. Oh, we're getting some stutter here, sorry. There we are, we're kind of recovering. Nope, there it goes again. Okay, so yeah, and nope, lost it. I'm not sure if that's some kind of ski run up behind the place or not. But the bed and breakfast is this main property here. This is all where planes park in real life. This guy, no idea what he's doing. But also there's just a ton of other properties around this airport that all have like their own little hangars and taxiways. Like this guy here. And like there's an extra building here. And then you can see there's a path for someone to bring a plane around here. There's another hangar over there. Just like a bunch of rich folks apparently live here that all have private planes and their own private runway. Oh yeah, and there's one directly beneath me as well. But the bed and breakfast is really the thing that is why I found this place. It just looks adorable. Looks like some place I would like to spend time, though I do not have a plane, so I would have to drive here like some poor wingless person. Oh. Well, it wasn't exactly the same wind conditions here, it looks like. Though it still shouldn't have affected our landing too much. It was just like a little bit of a crosswind. We definitely still landed in the right direction. But yeah, the wind's kind of coming from that way. Yeah, no, I think it might have actually been a little bit of ice simulation there. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. We're pretty much done. Let's see if I can build the passenger terminal while we're here. FBO. Edit. Invoice. Ooh. Oh. Need 2,000 kilograms of building material. I have 2,000 kilograms of building material. Right? Can I? Success! Yes! Okay, I can actually generate jobs here now. Right, yeah, I do need to take my pills. Thank you. Yeah, I will see you all later. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad the game actually seems to play somewhat okay while I'm streaming it. We almost ran out of fake time. I rewound the clock and it's still almost, the sun's getting low to the horizon. That's gorgeous. I'm going to screenshot that for the YouTube thumbnail. And yeah. Thank you for watching and have a great day.